Welcome to maybe the biggest week of the year as far as auctions go. I'm not joking. I think it might be. This is Across the Hobby. I am Adam Gray at the Real 27 Guy on Instagram, and we are live. I've tried to do this live a couple times. It hasn't worked super well. It is Monday morning after all. But again, I think this is truly the biggest week of auctions of the whole year. You can see I'm a little bit more dressed up than usual today. That's not for you. I promise it is because I've got some other more professional stuff to do today than typical. But I think that today I don't have very much time. I have maybe half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. Usually this show ends up going for an hour and a half. But today I wanted to just take a second to go through the big auctions for this week. And I'll hit record on this at the end, or hit save on this at the end. But if you've got any questions or anything and you're on the chat, I may get to them. There is a chance that I will not. I'm seeing some people sort of saying things right off. If you'll come hit me on YouTube, but it now occurs to me for you to get to my YouTube, I should have put up a link and I didn't do that. And I don't have time to go back and do that now. So if you can find me on YouTube, you can do that from my profile. That would be great. I will try to get to the Instagram questions, but I can't promise anything. Again, biggest week of auctions of the entire year. Let me tell you why. Okay. So I have 6 eBay consignment or auction houses up on another tab. And I'll show that to you in a second. First up is MC Sports Cards. This tonight is their monthly mega auction, right? MC Mondays, like the monthly showcase. And then after that, we have Alt's weekly auction. We have Fanatics Premier auction. We have Golden's Golden's Elite auction, Heritage's big monthly auction, and then we have REA. If you are a fan of vintage in particular, I already dropped an episode today on my YouTube with REA's big monthly auction, so definitely go check that out. All right, without further hesitation, I am going to, I'm going to try to get this right. I probably won't. But yes, TJ, thank you for going to YouTube. Hey, everybody, to everybody who's saying hi, and thank you for those of you who've joined on Instagram. But definitely go check out YouTube if you have the ability to do that, and I will try to check out comments there. All right, let us do this. I'm going to start by sharing. That is the wrong view. I'm off and away. There we go. That's the one that I want. So this is MC Sports Cards monthly auction. And again, usually I go through most every item. We're not going to be able to do that today as well as usual, but we're going to highlight a bunch of stuff. So we've got the Messi. We've got a red Elway, a 7.5 on the MJ, a big-time Banchero card, big Jordan insert. This is the Star Power Supreme. These were 1 in 288 packs. It's the toughest variation of that insert card. LeBron, I think that's his third year autograph. Big Kobe right here. This is the first really big card of the day. So why is this such a big card? Well, if you go look at the odds on this, there's 2 different versions of this card. The regular version, I believe, is called the Zebut, and it doesn't refract. I think they were like 1 in 24 packs, but the ZP Zebut was tough. And in the whole set, I think it's like a 15 or a 20 card set. It's really tough. It's like 10 times as hard to get this refracting version. But not only that, in this case, you're looking at a gem copy from BGS. It does look like it's a min gem, so it does have A9. But look at that pop report that the MC has put there for you. Pop 7. This is a big card, guys, and it is a beautiful card. I owned one at one point. I had to let it go. But as far as rookie inserts go, I would argue it's the best Kobe. And the fact, like literally, I think it's the best Kobe rookie insert that exists. And the fact that it's one of the highest 7 ever graded. And I'll bet there's no BGS 10s. Like that's one to definitely keep an eye on this week. Thank you guys for the kind comments. I'm going to keep going. Like I said, if you have questions, please come on over YouTube. But if you want to stay on Instagram and leave comments, I will try to get to those. We will have to finish in the next 35 minutes today, so we will have an abbreviated show. Wow, a huge Brunson here. Okay, this is something that I actually asked the community about last week with a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander card that is ending this week at the PWCC, the Fanatics Collect Premier auction. And that is, what would you rather have? The first off the line with the holo foil around the window or the regular version that's out of 99? I think historically I would have said the out of 99 because it's the base rookie card and there's so many parallels and I just don't care about all that stuff. But I will tell you this. After seeing enough of these cards in person, the ones with the holofoil in the window and the ones with the holofoil in the name and stuff like that, they just stand out so much more. So for me, this Brunson's actually a pretty big card. There are very few autograph patches I'd rather have than this one. It's a really high quality patch. Obviously, you'd rather have the card be graded to know that there isn't, something significantly wrong with the card. But that is a big Brunson. Keep scrolling down here. Really nice Johnny Unitas. Holy smokes, PSA 8. Go check out the pop report on that. Exceptionally clean. Certainly one of the most iconic football cards of that era. Was really surprised when this didn't show up on the Iconic 100 that I put together for PWCC back a few years ago. I think it finished like 104th or 105th, just barely missed. But in retrospect, we didn't have enough really vintage football collectors represented in that voters pool. And so I think this is a card that should probably be a top 100 card in the hobby. I just love that image of Unitas right there. Both of them fantastic. Big Elway, PSA 10. Mahomes, Disco Prism, PSA 10, big card. Keep scrolling down here. Ooh, Timmy Duncan, Star Rubies from the 99 year, the last year of the 90s. Definitely a big card. Jordan, one of a kind, in a PSA 8. We've seen some significant movement on these kabooms recently. The biggest card of the set, probably the LeBron in a PSA 9. The linchpins, 1 in 360 packs on the Jordan. Not the highest grade, but oh, look at that. That is currently a really good price. My guess is that it goes up significantly from here, but a PSA 8 on the third level profile insert card. So the story on this card is this. It's easy to see the handwritten serial number, but the deep emboss here is really underrated. A lot of people don't know about it. I used to own one of these in a BGS 9, and I love the card. Absolutely loved it. Had to move it along the way, but loved the card. Wow. So this is a first edition LeBron. These have definitely ticked up in recent months. $7,700 on that. Noise Boys MJ, always a big card. The Giannis rookie autograph. I love this. I love this. I didn't realize. I knew that there was a 97 setup. I didn't realize there was a 96 setup right now. So this is a complete set of the 1996 autographics. A set of these recently moved. I can't remember who it was from, but I remember thinking, gosh, that was a good deal. I can't remember who moved it. It might have been Leland's. I think it was Leland's. Wouldn't shock me if somebody bought the Leland set and now it's listed here and they're trying to flip it. Wouldn't shock me even a little bit. It seemed like it went for a pretty good deal. This was the original big time autograph set. Absolutely love it. Take a look through there. The whole set's not PSA, I don't believe, just a portion of it. If I'm remembering that right. Yeah, and here's the 97 set. This is the one that I did remember. Both of those are phenomenal. Big Jordan autograph, big Intimidation Nation, Kobe. Interesting, a Kobe 2012 Prism Gold insert. This is the Downtown Bound. Downtown now has a really important name in the hobby as far as important inserts go, but I don't think when people look back at this 2012 that they thought of this the same way. It's interesting if you connect the two. If you say, hey, the Downtown Bound insert sort of originated here with 2012 Prism. I don't know whether that's true or not, by the way. There could have been another year where they did something like Downtown in a Donruss set in 2011 or 2010. But the thing that's interesting to me is he only has a few inserts, and there are only a few inserts in 2012 Prism. The Kobe, near and dear to my heart, Prism base card from 2012 in a gold's probably not a card that most people are going to go out and buy right now. Or be able to buy right now, but the inserts sell for a lot less. And so if you want to be able to say, hey, I have a 2012 gold Kobe, this might be your chance to be able to get one. I'm going to fly through the rest of these because we're almost at that time. Ichiro, this is the Japanese version. Remember that this says it's out of 99, but there's only 50 in Japanese. It's every other serial number that does that. Big Tom Brady, PSA 9. Big Wilt, BGS 5. PSA 8 on the Jordan, another one of a kind, huh? 2 one of a kinds in the same auction, I think, from different years. And I love this Anthony Davis. That's one of the cards that I've been watching. This card in hand's glorious. The Flawless Logoman autos are fantastic. I love the LeBron. I would say the same thing about it. It's just wonderful in hand. Jordan, the Prism, the original Prism made before his 86 rookie card, which I think sort of gives it a case for being a rookie card. Some people disagree with that. Big Pokemon box. Ooh, PSA 4 on the roof. That's a big card. And then some huge Kobe's, a LeBron, an Ovechkin emblems of endorsement rookie. Wow, that's a big card out of 15. 12 grand on this Jordan exquisite from 04. I've said it a million times. The best high numbered autograph patch set of all time. The autograph looks like that might be a little bit light or a little bit faded, but worth looking at still. Kobe's first jumbo patch auto ever out of Flawless. I love this one. This is the regular version out of 25. Big LeBron. And we're done. That's it for MC Sports Cards. Okay, now we're going to move to alt. I'm just going to make sure there's no questions that I really want to get to. Hey, good to see you guys. Thank you, Hampton Card Club. And again, thank you guys for checking this out. If you've got any questions, let me know. Okay, so alt has a few massive cards ending this week. Massive. This Jordan LeBron here is obviously one of them. All right, so we're gonna make that one big. We're gonna look at the Mahomes. That's obviously a huge card. The Jokic is obviously a huge card. Boy, another Nagurski. We got multiple Broncos moving this week. One via REA. Wow, this Giannis, though. This Giannis to me is the card of the auction that nobody's talking about. And I'll talk to you about it. Why in just a second. This Jordan autograph right here is really cool, but it is faded, unfortunately. All right, we're going to stop. Well, let's go for just a second more. We got to stop. Oh, man, a triumvirate. This is the Luminescent, the second version on the Jordan. That's a big card. And then the Stockton Nash. Lots of good stuff. We're gonna check these out and then keep moving, though. Okay, so we're going to start here. LeBron Jordan, dual number pieces, patch autograph in a BGS 9. This is a card, obviously, is not a cheap card. Plus 20%, you're looking at close to 150 grand right now on this card. Or what is that, 140 grand on this card. So two really strong patches, graded a while ago. You know, that's like 2015-ish. Maybe a little bit earlier. Number 20 out of 23. They just didn't do these every year. They didn't do dual number pieces every year. And they made exquisite for 7 years. I think they did dual number pieces like 4 or 5 of the years. I need to look at that for sure to know. I think every year they could do them. They did LeBron and Jordan, which sort of makes sense because of how popular they are. And because it was an easy fit. As soon as they came out with exquisite, those two sort of made sense, right? So that is, that's definitely the card of the week at alt. Then we have the Mahomes. So the Mahomes Flawless RPA. Wow, this is a PSA 10 with a 3-color patch. Maybe a little bit of white coming in over here too, which is the same over here, but 4-layer, 3-color. The autograph on this is phenomenal. Cards in a PSA case, which a lot of people love. Everybody loves it. It's a PSA 10. If you turn around and you look, you can see that this one was actually player worn. Some of the football cards are not player worn. They were never they're never worn by the player. That's not true in NBA cards and has led to me having like 50 different conversations with people. People are always like, I'll always say something like NBA flawless cards are game used. And people come on and they say, no, you're wrong. And then I say, no, really, they are. And then people are like, I can show you examples. And then they show me a collegiate card or they show me an NFL card. Basketball, that is not true. But in football, this one is at least player worn. Doesn't say it's game worn. It's player worn. The point is we got lost in that. That probably matters a lot less. What does matter is as far as like really clean vertical RPAs, that's your card. The card that is an RPA that's more iconic than this one is the National Treasures. But the National Treasures is far more available. All right. This I would say would sort of compare to the holofoil version, the foil version out of 25 of the NT. That's a good question. What would you rather have? Would you rather have the Patrick Mahomes flawless RPA to 25 or the National Treasures that has the holofoil on it to 25? Assuming similar patch quality, which one would you rather have? I think that's a great question because I think the holofoil really matters on that NT. It makes it look awesome. But this one is vertical, features the full Mahomes, is player worn. I can't remember if it's player worn in NT or not. It's a good question. We're thinking about. Jokic to 5. This is a huge card, guys. Remember, Nikola Jokic does not have an RPA in National Treasures. Every other major star since 2009 has a National Treasures RPA, not Nikola Jokic. Jokic just has this autograph in National Treasures. He has other RPAs, but if your filters are, I want the right player and I want National Treasures, you're looking at the Nikola Jokic card. And what makes it even greater is that this is the Emerald out of 5. This is a huge card. And we've seen a couple big sales on this card over the course of the last few months. It's interesting. I wonder if this is the same copy or if somebody else is cashing out. I don't blame people for cashing out on stuff like this that's tens of thousands of dollars, man. I don't blame anybody for anything that they need to sell, but I love this Jokic. Oh, man, I'm taking too long. I got to fly. Every time I ever see Nagurski, I'm always going to bring it up. Iconic, ultra rare. This one for a PSA 2 just looks incredible. Recently graded. Like, why is this 2? Pull this up on the PSA website and drill in real hard on it, but holy crap, is that a nice copy. A 2? Like, what do you want? This thing is amazing. Looks like a 6. I'm sure I'm missing something. It does not like a 2 look like a 2 to me. This card's beautiful, man. If you want a Nagurski, this is not a low-grade Nagurski. This is a great Nagurski. If you want one with amazing eye appeal, and I know eye appeal generally means centering to people, and the centering is not perfect on here, but a 2? Like, why is that a 2? All right, let's get out of that one. And then I didn't mean to click on this Jordan, although the Jordan is a great card. It's not one I meant to click on. And then really one of my cards of the week. When I saw that Alt had this card up, I just like, my eyes got really big. I love this card for so many different reasons. Okay, so when this card was made, nobody had thought, oh, you know what? National Treasures, whenever they turn it sideways, the card sucks. Now, for some reason, people think that. And I think it's because some of the higher numbers are horizontal and it doesn't have the same form as the original rookie card. But let me tell you about 2013. In 2013, the horizontal RPA to 10, that was the copy everybody wanted. And I can prove that to you as far as like me, because I owned a Gobert. I've always loved Gobert. I owned a Gobert to 10. I owned multiple Goberts to 25 and to 99. I sold all of them except for my Gobert to 10 because you never see the card hit the auction block. You just never do. And this Giannis is the same way. And so we fast forward all these years later and people are like, oh, horizontal is not good. But it was amazing in 2013. This was the card. Now, would I have rather had this or the 1 out of 5? I would have taken the 1 out of 5. But like marginally. There's so many more forms of the card in that vertical version. Patches on this are phenomenal. That's better than any patch you're ever going to find on one of these out of 99. I think of it as, me personally, I know the hobby's gone in this sort of strange way, horizontal versus vertical in years since this was made, really like 2017 or 2018 onward. But me personally, I would rather have this than a copy of the out of 25 and a copy out of 99 and some other stuff. Like, I love this Giannis card. What Giannis is what I rather have than this? I mean, this in a Prism Gold to me are close. I'm just being real. I love this card. Okay, let's go to Fanatics Collect. Like I said, I got to keep it moving today, guys. I wish I had more time, but I got to keep moving. So let me go look at questions real quick, though, because I know there was a bunch of stuff. At least a few things. Hi to everybody who said hi. Just came in. Will you speak about Fanatics? Yes, I am going to be speaking about Fanatics Collect for just a minute. And then I will be on with Jeremy on Sports Cards Live on Thursday. So make sure if you want to watch content that night, come check us out. We'll be talking about every item in the whole auction. Hey, what do you think is the best card for you at the moment? My best card, I posted just the other day, is my Kobe Logo Mania. That's my best card in my collection. Thanks for asking. Thanks for everybody for joining. It's good to see you guys. Is this a painted photo? I think you're talking about the Nagurski. I think it is. It's just like most vintage cards. It's like some sort of artwork. But it's also one of the most iconic football cards of all time. Okay, let's look at Fanatics Collect. Let's scroll back up to the top. So the real story line, or the real header of the auction for Fanatics, is going to be this LeBron RPA. We haven't seen a ton of these move over the course of the last couple of years. And so seeing one that's up right now is obviously a pretty big deal. Tyson Corner Cards. I will get to your question here in just a second. Thanks for asking that. So the LeBron patch here, we could walk through it. I'm not going to click on it. I think it's interesting that it's in an SGC holder. It's the first time I've seen one in an SGC holder since the last time this one moved. My guess is it's the only time SGC's ever graded this. So you have to ask, why would somebody send a card like this to SGC? And I'll tell you why I bet this card was sent to SGC. I think it's likely because this is what would give them the best chance of this, Mint Plus grade, right? PSA doesn't have a Mint Plus grade. Beckett doesn't have a Mint Plus grade. This one graded a 9.5 is Mint Plus. And SGC doesn't charge you more because a card's worth, if you sent this to PSA, you're spending $4,000. And so, you're getting a better deal on grading the card. It's a higher grade in terms of, I don't think you're not going to get a 10 on this card, probably. Otherwise, you would sort of have to wait to send it to PSA. At least this is again, I'm just guessing. I don't really know. This is just a guess. But it's sitting at $360,000, which is obviously a ton of money, but it's the most iconic card of the century. It's LeBron's biggest card. And maybe it being in an SGC holder saves you some money, especially considering its condition. I would go look at the SGC scans and look at the scans on here. Look real close on it. Three of the most iconic cards in the whole hobby really start us out here, though. The Brady in an 8.5 out of 100, obviously just a huge card. We're seeing a lot less of them move recently. The Jordan in a 10 with that gold label, really a premium copy, according to NBA. An unopened box of 86 Fleer. Always look at these to see if the packs are all original to the box. Sometimes they combine boxes together, and they'll generally say that in the write-up. Mantle PSA 5. I asked an interesting question earlier this week or last week, and people really went back and forth on it. It was a great poll. It ended up being 53 to 47. I asked, would you rather have this LeBron or this Curry and then a few other cards that are down lower on? This Kobe and then a Kevin Durant autograph, exquisite RPA with a really nice patch. And I was pretty surprised the LeBron didn't win because people almost always go with the biggest card. But it'll be really interesting to see if the LeBron's toward the top of what it's going to get to or if it keeps going. And I think a lot of people are going to be interested to watch that. I love the Steph. I love the Steph because, let me make this big. I love the Steph because this is the second best, second biggest, second most important RPA in all of basketball cards. I would say in amongst all of sports cards. If you're going to make a list of the best RPAs ever made, it starts with the LeBron, without question. Then moves to the Steph. I think you could say, no, I think it should be Mahomes, or I think it should be Luka. I just don't think it's those guys. I think the first year of Panini, the first year of National Treasures, the Steph out of 99. I think that's your second best RPA ever made. And honestly, if I was going to buy a copy, I'd buy one like this. I'd buy one that didn't have a 9.5 grade because there's a lot of 9.5s, and I just don't care about the difference between a 9 and a 9.5. I think it's really negligible. I would buy one that has a quality patch, but nothing insane because I don't want to pay tons of money for an insane patch. And I would want one where the autograph looks really nice, and this one does. So I love this card. I love it. There are, as Tyson Corner's card said, there are 3 SGA NTs in this auction. 3. That is a lot of Shea National Treasures. I might have said that wrong. I might have said SGAs. To be clear, there are 3 SGA National Treasures in this single auction, and that is a lot. It's interesting because, I think they've got a good chance to win the championship, really a good chance. It's going to be a gauntlet getting through the second and the third round in the West, which in the East they probably don't really face. In the East, Boston's going to walk through round 1 and walk through round 2, and then they'll have their first pretty good challenge, I think, in the conference finals. Cleveland's pretty legit, but the Clippers, man, the Clippers in round 2 or the Nuggets in round 2 against the Thunder is going to be really tough. And then to face whoever they have to face in the Western Conference Finals is just another type of challenge. I hope everybody stays healthy. But if they do, I mean, you saw what they did to Memphis the other night. They absolutely obliterated them. I turned it on like 7 minutes into the game. It was already a 20-point game. It was never close. It ended up, they won by 50 something. Just wasn't even close. I love this Jordan. I was actually going to make some content on it, but then I saw that Acquire did. And then I thought, they covered sort of some of the main things. So Jordan has just a few NBA licensed credentials cards. And we talked about this in Basketball Card Fanatic once upon a time, but I'll just take you through it real quick. He obviously has a 96. Those are the ones out of 499. That's the first year. That's the Kobe rookie year. He has one in 97, the now and the future. The now is $1 million plus card. The future is a huge card, the pink and purple. Love it. He doesn't have anything else when he's in a Bulls uniform during his playing days. And then in 2001 and 2002, he comes back and he has one in 2001. Shoot, I should know this off the top of my head. What does he have in 2002? I don't know that. He has a Wizards card in 2001, and I don't know what he has in 2002. I'm sure he does. I think he does. I can't think in my mind about what 2002 EX looks like, so maybe they didn't make it. It just is not coming to me. But then in 2003, they did credentials, but he's not in the set because at that point Upper Deck didn't own Fleer, and so they didn't make one. And then 2004, they made the set, but he wasn't in it. 2005, anyway, in 2006 he comes back. This is the point I wanted to make, and sorry I've belabored this. Michael Jordan, his rarest credentials card in a Bulls uniform, you're looking at it. That's the rarest Michael Jordan credentials card in a Bulls uniform, period. Now, the now from 97, we know moved privately recently through Acquire. I would guess that was $1 million plus card. That's what I would guess. I believe that. I don't know that. I've never been told that. I believe it was probably $1 million plus card, maybe even like $1.5 million or maybe $2 million. I don't know. I have no idea. Is this going to get there? It's not, in my opinion. Why is this not going to get there? Because it's not playing days. But how high does it get? That is a good question, and I think a lot of people are watching because, again, it's out of 4. Like, it is half as rare. Less than there's less than 50% of the print run of this there is the now that I think is the $1 million card. So absolutely huge piece. Duel here with LeBron and MJ is obviously awesome. How am I doing on time? Flip, I'm late. I got to move. Really cool triple here. Love the triple here. It is on stickers, but I think I did the math on this, and even including stickers, there's like 142 triples of these 3 ever. Really a huge piece. BGS 10 on the Jordan here is big. My favorite card of the auction, though, I think I need to go through and really analyze, and I'll do my top 10 post on Instagram later to sort of like commemorate it. But I've always loved this Kobe. Both 610 Sports Cards and Card Collector 291 had copies of this at the National last year. Was it last year? And I offered up some pretty good packages to try to get it. I couldn't get either of them to move. I think 610 Sports Cards had one. I didn't try as hard with him. I tried really hard with Card Collector 291, and I figured that if Justin, because Justin was he was right by Mike. I thought that maybe if I offered Mike enough that Justin was interested, Justin would jump in, and he didn't. So I didn't get one, but I wish that I would have, because this is like the year, right? 2008's limited logos is both exceptionally rare for the big 3 and gorgeous. I will always contend the 04 exquisite limited logos is the best looking year, but second is 08. It is. Nothing's close to those 2 years. Nothing. So I'm being real. Like the other year, and this is just my opinion, 05, is flat. It's a flat foil. It's not a hollow foil. It just does not pop the same way. It's glorious and wonderful, and I love it. And there's still some of the best cards ever made. But I'm telling you, from an aesthetics perspective, 04 and 08 are the nicest years ever, but 08 has the big three. Jordan's out at 23, Kobe's out at 24, and LeBron's out at 23. And I just love it. I've always loved it. I love that Kobe. This might even be the same copy that I was trying to buy at the National. It's fantastic. A big Ovechkin, the new record holder. Man, there's so much good stuff, but I've got 2 more auctions to make it through. So remember earlier I was talking about the Mahomes. I was comparing Mahomes. Would you rather have the flawless RPA to 25 that's vertical or the National Treasures horizontal that's out of 25? And I said, it's really tough. This is what I'm talking about. This is why it's tough. Check this card out on the 360 view. Check it out. Look at how the holofoil moves around the window and compare it to the regular card. It is not even close. I've said before, I'd rather have one of these than 2 of the other ones. And I'm not saying it will be worth more. I don't know. I never know what people are going to buy or why they buy it. Our hobby is totally nonsensical. I generally don't talk about those things. But I know when I see something and I go, that's nice. When I was working full-time for PWCC and they would fly me out there and I would like talk about each of the cards in the premier auction, I would hold them in hand. The first time I saw this card, I went, oh, like I love this card. And the patch is nothing great. The autograph looks like it's been well preserved. But we're going to stop there, guys. I would love to keep going through this stuff. This auction is stacked. Again, please come and join Jeremy and me. Please come and join Jeremy and me like on Thursday. We have so much fun. We talk for hours, and I'll have a lot more time then than I have now. We talked about this stuff. Now on to the Golden Elite. So so Fanatics Collect ends Thursday. Now on to the Golden Elite. It ends in 5 days from now. That's Saturday. And it is an absolutely huge auction. And we start out at the top at 3 big Prism cards, all, I believe, 1-of-1s. The Caitlin WNBA throwback signatures, numbered 1-of-1. This is the gold vinyl. The Caleb Williams black finite. The Drake May black finite. I guarantee you some people are looking at these 2 cards and saying, which one would you rather have? And I will leave that to you guys. A big Shohei, another 1-of-1. We start out with 4 straight 1-of-1s. And then we get to our first non-1-of-1, the Michael Jordan 04 autograph patch. You know, I just realized I need to stop and just answer some questions real quick. I can't answer some questions. I'm out of time. I'm sorry, guys. Big Jordan autograph bat. The LeBron exquisite non-RPA rookie card. This is the gold variation or gold parallel. We've seen a couple of these sell. We saw one of these sell recently for a pretty big number. So I'm interested to see if that does the same thing. I've always had an interest in this card. Always. Because buying the RPA is tough. It's so expensive. This is obviously really expensive, but it's sort of more manageable. It's from the same set. It's the same guy. It's just, and it's also rarer, right? It has the same form of the card. Big 86 set. This is the Fusion Relics cards. There's like little pieces of jerseys also in these cards, and the cards are autographed. Another big Mahomes. Another Shea. There's some big Sheas up this week. Another Shea. Another Shea. Another. Like there's 4 straight Shea Gilgeous-Alexanders. I forgot to sort this by highest here for Golden. We saw some big sales of the Pele Alifa Boulanger yesterday. Here's a couple of them. An 8.5 signed MJ. That's cool. A 10 on the Kobe, a really rare Kobe credentials. This PSA 10, 3 out of 9. You've got to look all the way through the Elite auction too. I think sometimes people have a tendency to stop with the Elite auction after like the first page or the first 100 or whatever. I am telling you, every Elite auction I scroll through and I'm like, oh, that's in this auction. Every single one. You've got to go through everything. Heritage also has a big auction ending this week. Lots of good stuff. Obviously, you've got the Mantle up top, a big MJ and an 8, a Mantle rookie and an SGC 5. And then what's this? The 33 Gaudy near set, only missing 6 cards. Always look at stuff like this, especially if you're a flipper. Always look at stuff like this because this gives you a chance. I'm telling you, this gives you a chance sometimes to make some really good money when sets, complete sets are sold. In general, a lot of times you should break stuff up, but you don't know it until it hits auction. You just don't. 1887 partial set, another one of those situations. And finally, with literally no time to go, the REA auction, please, if you haven't done it already, go look at the video that I posted just a few minutes before I started this. I did like an hour and a half on REA. And I'm telling you, REA has an unbelievable auction. Crazy, crazy auction ending on, so it's 6 days from now. So it's ending on Sunday, Sunday the 27th. I should know that. I made a video for them already, and you're going to see a couple of big reels that I make this week on REA. Look, the Bobby Orr is a huge card. It's the highest graded Pop 3 of the test card. One of the most iconic hockey cards ever made. And nobody has any idea what it'll sell for. No clue. Big Mantle on a 7.5. Huge Ruth. And then this is what I love. You've got these two huge Ruths. You've got, oh, wait a second. Did I not sort this right? There's a plank that's up. Why don't I see the plank up? Maybe I'm crazy. I don't think so, though. I think there's a plank up. Did it fall off the first page? Huh, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I've got it filtered somehow. I don't know where the plank is, but there was an Eddie Plank T206 up. At least I thought there was. I think I talked about it. You can go check it out. See if I'm wrong. Because maybe I'm wrong. I probably am. A big Jackson here. PSA 5, really good shape on even for a 1915, really great shape on that card. Amazing shape on this. But to me, the card of the REA auction that I'm most excited about, 100%, is this Nagurski. An SGC8. Go look at gem rate, look at the combined pop report, and check out the Nagurski to see how nice this one is. If memory serves, there are only 2 copies across all of the graders ever that are higher than this. There's an 8.5 by PSA and a 9 by PSA. And this one is an 8. I think there's across all of the graders, I think there's 2 or 4. So one of the most iconic football cards ever in one of those highest grades ever. There's so much stuff to look at. I'm just going to go through questions real quick. Stadium Sports Cards, thank you for the comment. Let's see if there's anything else here. If there's anything else that I need to answer. Adam, how do you feel about the John Cena becoming sometimes champion as a heel? I think it's awesome. Anytime we get wrestling in mainstream sports news, I think it's awesome. I love the wrestling collectors, and there's tons of passion over there. So I love that. There are a few more questions that I do not have time to answer, but I want to thank you guys for taking the time to join this morning. Thank you for coming through this with me. Again, I'll hit save, and I hope you guys have a great week. Good luck bidding. Let me know if you win anything big. Tag me if you have a mail day that's you winning an auction. But yeah, thank you guys for joining, and until next time, happy collecting.